Hi, I'm Christa with artisticvegan.com, and thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. We'll be making a garlic cilantro flatbread, also known as a naan. Now this is a non-traditional version since I have modified it significantly to exclude the yeast, the oil, the dairy, but it's still going to be fantastic. In this recipe, you will need 1 cup of flour. I've chosen a gluten-free all-purpose flour. Then I'm also going to use a tablespoon of minced garlic, a squeeze of lime or lemon, or even an apple cider vinegar. If you don't have that, it's going to be about just a half teaspoon or so. 2 tablespoons of, here's the non-traditional part, tahini. I'm using this to replace the oil. Now, if you wanted, you could just use some oil. Then I have a 1/4 cup of dairy-free milk and some freshly chopped cilantro. And then we also have a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I also have just a little bit of extra milk on the side, a sauce on top. This is optional. I'm going to use half a teaspoon of minced garlic, a little bit of this cilantro, a touch of the oil. First, you'll want to sour the milk. So I have a 1/4 teaspoon here and just a little tiny bit of lemon. About half a teaspoon. If it's a teaspoon or so, that's great. Mix that together and set it aside. Meanwhile, we'll take a cup of our gluten-free flour. Now, if you don't have a gluten allergy, you could use whole wheat or regular flour or a mix. 1 teaspoon baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. If you want to add a pinch of salt, you can. I'm going to leave it out so it's a tiny bit healthier. And whisk that together. About 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to take about half of this and mix that in there. Here I have a tablespoon of freshly minced garlic and mix that in. Pour it in till you're dry and add either 2 tablespoons of oil or 2 tablespoons of tahini, coconut butter, whatever you like here. I'm going to use the tahini. Now I've also made this with just the dairy-free milk and a little extra of the vinegar or lemon. And that's another way to do it. It works great. Starting to come together. Knead it for 1 minute. Here's where you can adjust it by adding just a splash of dairy-free milk. Set this aside for about 10 minutes. You can set it aside anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour, and some people do it up to 4 hours. I don't have very much patience, so 10 to 30 minutes should be good for us. Form it into somewhat of a ball. So there we have our dough. I'm going to cover it up. You could use plastic wrap or have a clean towel if I can keep your hands off it. There we go. So I'm just going to set that aside for 10 to 30 minutes and I'll come back and we'll roll it out. Alright, our dough's rested about 10 minutes. We'll go ahead and make a little sauce and set that aside so the flavors can marry together. Now, this is optional. If you want to go oil-free, pass. So I'm going to go for about 1 tablespoon of oil. I have avocado oil. You could use olive or whatever you prefer. Coconut melted. And I have half a teaspoon of minced garlic and about a little handful of fresh cilantro. And mix it all together. I'm going to set that aside. And then I'll use this brush when I'm ready and brush it on. I'm just going to flip my board, put a little flour on the bottom. This is that gluten-free flour. And here I have my beautiful little ball of dough. Now, depending on the size of your naan is how you're going to want to divide this up. You could do 2 and do 2 large ones. You could do 3 and then have the next size, or you could do 4 small ones. So it's up to you. Roll it into a ball. and roll it into the desired shape you want. You can do a circle or more of an oval. Go ahead and get your skillet very hot, or your pan. It should be heating for 5 to 10 minutes until it is smoking hot, and then we will put this on there and I will roll out the other two. Dip your brush in the oil, garlic, herb mixture and put that on top. And there you have it. Breaks apart beautifully. And it tastes delicious. You can serve it as is or with some curry. This is the chickpea sweet potato soup that we made with curry and turmeric in a past episode. I'll link to it. You can click on it at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this show and learning how to make one of my favorite garlic cilantro flatbread recipes. And I hope you give it a try and love it and tag me on social media. This has been Christa with artisticvegan.com. Thank you for watching. I have the other two right here. I'm going to go share with my wonderful husband. Bye.